Panther people, we good now? So this morning, the New England Patriots and Adam Schefter and everybody announced that Stephon Gilmore is now available. Apparently, a contract did not work out according to Josina Anderson, and so now he is a free agent. He can go wherever he wants. And obviously, the first person I thought of at this point, a la with Jalen Smith as well, is Scott Fitterer, Mr. Blue Eyes. Again, as I mentioned last week, Mr. Lando Calrissian, the scoundrel, the deal maker. Yeah, sure, I've seen the odds right now. He can join the Kansas City Chiefs. He can join the Green Bay Packers, yada, yada. Kansas City Chiefs defense is garbage right now. He'll be the best player on that defense. Why not just join a better unit in Charlotte? So yes, the Panthers definitely have their odds stacked against them, but I mean, why not? Scotty, he says he's going to be in on every deal. This is going to be a very big deal. Just imagine the type of experience J.C. Horn and C.J. Henderson could just absorb through osmosis for a Pro Bowler like Stephon Gilmore. I think that'd be awesome. And then you add in Dante Jackson as well and A.J. Bouye. And of course, Jeremy Chin, the alpha dog in the defensive backfield. And our defense looks even scarier. Emergency interjection in this episode, this midweek episode of Panthers Post. Yes, I'm in my day clothes. This is my grown-up outfit, no hat, got hair, got my rain jacket because I'm out in the elements. Holy crap. In on every deal. Tell me a GM who trades for a top 10 cornerback in last year's draft and then the very next week trades for a possible Hall of Fame cornerback for a 6th rounder. Scott Fitterer, you are a magician. I don't know what connections you have with the New England Patriots. The Patriots all the time either let stars go, don't want to pay them, or trade them for next to nothing. I think there is a brief history about this. But Stephon Gilmore, as I mentioned in the vlog, or you will see in the vlog, as I mentioned, he was coveted by what you would refer to as Super Bowl contending teams. The Bucks, the Cowboys, the Chiefs, the Green Bay Packers. No one mentioned the Panthers. The only person I saw mention the Panthers quickly was Dominic Foxworth from ESPN. We were talking about it. South Carolina guy, Rock Hill native. You know, they're building the beautiful headquarters there. But I thought more likely the Panthers would be aiming towards Jalen Smith. Not someone who would actually fill a void with Shaq being out. Not, a potential Hall of Famer in Stephon Gilmore. But the fact that not only did they actually get him, but for a 6th rounder? What? Now, he's not available until week 6, which would be until after week 6 or week 6, which would then be either against the Giants or against the Vikings, depending on the minutia of that. But holy crap, Scott Fitterer. I had to talk about it now because I can't wait until the evening, because I can't yell in the evening when I'm editing this piece because my kid and dog and wife are sleeping. So I'm just interjecting this now. Stephon Gilmore is now with the Carolina Panthers. So now you have, in lieu of J.C. Horn being on IR right now, so now you have Dante Jackson, you got Stephon Gilmore, you got A.J. Bouye, you got C.J. Henderson, who is a long-term guy, who Stephon could also be a long-term guy as well, and you got Jeremy Chin and the rest of the defensive backfield. What? So I don't know if the Patriots, they don't seem like this kind of team to do this kind of stuff because they're strictly business. Maybe they asked Stephon, we're going to trade you to a team that you want to go to. Did he want to go to Carolina? Did he pick up what they're putting down? Does he like the project that they're trying to build right now? Or did Tepper just show up and be like, hey, you want money? I got the most money in the NFL. I'll pay you. Oh, and by the way, take a look at this beautiful facility we're building in Rock Hill, South Carolina right now. If you want to think about life after football, it could be here. So, wow. So the team got a little older, but a lot more experienced. Damn, this is huge. All right, week 5, Panthers back at Bank of America Stadium after a 2-week stay/road trip to the state of Texas. They are 1-1 in that little mini state series. They're back home, still up against an NFC least team in the Philadelphia Eagles, who I will admit, for the Eagle fans who are watching this, you are better than your 1-3 record, okay? Just chill. Learning from these, legacy teams that their fans are little sensitive if you say something that they don't like. But I do love Jalen Hurts. I wanted him with the Panthers when he was coming out of Oklahoma. I've watched him play when he was with Alabama against Vanderbilt, and he was so good. He lit that team up that they had to put in the rookie Tua Tagovailoa. So I've always liked Jalen Hurts' game. So I do give respect very much to that quarterback. I definitely don't think he was as bad as he was Monday night against the Dallas Cowboys. As we've seen, the Dallas Cowboys are going to make a lot of offensive look very mediocre or worse. So I respect his game, but I do think our defense is going to have a bounce back game, especially in front of that crowd. Now remember, in week 2, when the Panthers hosted the New Orleans Saints, I'm not there, I'm here in Southern Ontario in Canada, but I read that, and I could even tell in the broadcast, the crowd was rocking. I don't even think it was sold out, but the crowd was mental. They were going after it. They were lubed up, as Tom Brady would say, right before the game. They're ready to go. They're being roaring riot fans, just getting wild. So if the fans can bring that to this homecoming return game in week 5 against the Philadelphia Eagles, I think things are going to be good. As a man, you saw Brian Burns, you saw Hassan Reddick, you saw how pissed they were after losing that game on Sunday and how embarrassed they were, not even laying a hand on Dak Prescott, no sacks. The closest we got to a sack against Dak Prescott was Jermaine Carter Jr. in the very first play of the game, and then Dak just shimmied him off. So that was as close as the Panthers got. So you know they're going to be seething to try to get after yet another mobile quarterback in Jalen Hurts, albeit a smaller mobile quarterback in Jalen Hurts. So I think our defensive line is going to eat. I think our pass rushers are going to be absolutely mental and going after this dude. And I think they're going to tear this team up. Still have to deal with a semi-veteran offensive line with the Philadelphia Eagles. You got Jason Kelce as the center. He is a veteran there, Super Bowl champ. So Derek Brown and him are going to have a nice little battle there. Their left tackle, Jordan Mailata, who is a left tackle prospect who I wouldn't mind if the Panthers kick the tires to as he's entering his free agency this offseason. And the dude's a former rugby player, still very raw. He's Australian, and you know those Australian-New Zealand all-black rivalries are tough. So he's not afraid of anybody, but I do think they're definitely going to have a tough task against this offensive line. But I just think the sheer embarrassment from last week is going to motivate this defense to try to come out with their hair on fire. I think they're going to give Jalen Hurts through Phil Snow and the Snow Patrol. I think they're going to give him a bunch of different looks to try to confuse him as best they can, to try to make him make those dumb mistakes he did against Dallas. The positions that actually freak me out the most with the Philadelphia Eagles is their tight ends. And we saw the kind of damage the tight ends did from the Dallas Cowboys with Schultz and the other guy against the Panthers. And so now you got guys like Dallas Goedert and Zach Ertz, another guy who the Panthers I thought were going to be kicking the tires to last offseason to bring him on as a Greg Olsen replacement. Those two tight ends are really freaking good. And so it's going to be definitely a tough task if we don't have a guy like Shaq Thompson on the field on Sunday. So it's going to be a really busy day for the likes of Jeremy Chin, of Hassan Reddick, of Brian Burns if they drop into coverage somehow. And the other corners who we got kind of fill in the gaps in AJ Bouye and CJ Henderson. Dante Jackson's going to be preoccupied with Devontae Smith, who at this point is their number one wide receiver. So, yeah, it's going to be tough. And so it's going to be on the trenches. It's going to be on the defensive line to try to hurry up Jalen Hurts as much as they can because they do have weapons. If it's not Devontae Smith, I'm not really that scared of Jalen Reagor right now. It's going to be basically the Devontae Smith and Dallas Goedert and Zach Ertz show. And so it's going to be up to the defensive line to hurry Jalen, to try to rush the ball through the air to those guys and let our patchwork defense on the other side, the linebackers and the defensive backfield, try to make up for that. Speaking of defense, they got to defend against our offense as well. I think Sam Darnold is going to continue with yet another 300-yard game. I think now they're definitely going to be paying attention to him in the red zone as he leads the NFL in red zone rushing touchdowns with 5. And so I think that could then leave the hole open for a very big game for Canadian Chuba Hubbard. I think he looked great, albeit he didn't gain. I think he gained around 57-ish yards on the ground. If you take a look at some of his runs, he looked like, the game wasn't too fast for him. He was being patient. He was reading the blocks. Sure, there are times when he rushed it a little bit, but instead of trying to rely on his track speed, remember he's a track athlete, and try to outrun dudes on the outside off tackle, at some points, a majority of the time, it looked like he was reading his blocks, carefully and patiently. And then when he found that hole, albeit if it was this big, he was bursting through. And also, one thing I really liked as well, compared to his first real reps against the Houston Texans, he wasn't running too high. He wasn't letting the first guy bring him down. He was pushing through. He was gaining those extra yards, and that's what I love to see. So especially in the red zone, when you got the defense, paying close attention to Sam Darnold, who's now our red zone running threat, maybe that then leaves things open for running backs like Chuba Hubbard and Royce Freeman, who I hope, in terms of Freeman, they use a lot more. He is a big dude. The guy is like 6'2", 6'3", almost 200. It says on 238 pounds. I'm assuming at this point he's around 250 or so. But if you can really just rely on the run with those two guys, and as long as, and he did show it a little bit, Chuba Hubbard showing more reliable hands there, you can be way more unpredictable. And I will take our wide receiver core over the Philadelphia Eagles wide receiver core any single day. DJ Moore is going to have another beautifully gigantic, awesome, all-star Pro Bowl level game again, I think, on Sunday. I love the way Joe Brady used him in the backfield as well. You don't have Christian McCaffrey, who is a shifty running back / wide receiver. Why don't you get your shifty wide receiver who plays like a running back in DJ Moore in the backfield? That's why we got that sweet, I think it was a Texas route, touchdown against the Dallas Cowboys. They put him in the backfield, they have him motion out and just go for it, uncovered by anybody. You can try to cover him with a linebacker, it's just not going to work. But I think you can scheme DJ Moore to kind of be also that replacement for Christian McCaffrey. I think he's going to have a beautifully, as I say, I'm saying beautiful all the time because the guy plays beautifully. He's like a dancer out there. It's crazy. I'm sorry. I'm in love with DJ Moore right now. He's going to get paid so bad, it's going to be awesome. But I don't think their defense is going to be able to keep up with our wide receivers. Not only just DJ Moore, I think Robbie Anderson, who got a little bit more targets against Dallas, will definitely come out and play. He plays well at home. He's happy being in Charlotte. I think he's going to have a repeat of what he had against the Jets. He's going to have one real big catch and run for a touchdown. I think that's going to work well for him. Tommy Tremble, while he had some monster blocks against Dallas, that kind of helped out DJ Moore during that crazy run that is running on the highlight reel still. Hopefully Tommy Tremble as well could be a mismatch against this Philadelphia Eagles defense. So obviously I can't talk about the Carolina Panthers offense without mentioning our offensive line. And I've seen some tweets out there from Pro Football Focus that all I saw were yellow and green squares, meaning that our offensive line wasn't as bad as we thought they were against Dallas Cowboys. It didn't look like that in real time. It looked like Sam Darnold, and you got to put some onus on Sam as well, that he took way too long to make some decisions. He had no pocket presence at points that made him make dumb decisions that led to those 2 picks to Diggs. I was watching Monday Night Football, the Las Vegas Raiders over in LA taking on the Chargers. Also, what's up with a lightning delay at a dome stadium? Either way, it's neither here nor there. What I was paying attention to is second-year quarterback Justin Herbert, who had all the time in the world to make a decision on where he's going to toss that pigskin because his offensive line gave him time. Rashawn Slater out of Northwestern, their rookie left tackle, is looking great. And look at what happens when you have an offensive line that gives your quarterback time. And if you want to say that Justin Herbert is better than Sam Darnold, who is like a 4 or 5 year vet in the NFL, fine. I'll take that. But Sam Darnold has shown us in the last 3 games, throwing 300 plus yards and tossing a couple touchdowns, albeit some in garbage time, that he is a capable passer. He's also a capable runner. But imagine what he could be if you protect him properly. Instead of, it seems like at times, once the snap was given, you had Cowboy defensive linemen in the backfield hustling and making Sam make dumb decisions that cost the Panthers the game. Both of those INTs from Diggs led to points, and that's why we lost. And so I think the offensive line definitely has to do a mirror check, bit of a gut check, and ask themselves, what are we doing here? And I see on Twitter, people are asking for rookies. We see Rashawn Slater, as I just mentioned, rookie out of Northwestern, starting left tackle in the AFC West, which is a crazy division. So why not have rookies, Deontay Brown playing as left or right guard, most likely left guard, and then you got Brady Christensen, filling in. While we do remember, we had Matt Rule say during the draft process that Brady Christensen, the rookie out of BYU, is a second-round guard, third-round tackle. So maybe you keep Irvin out there as the left tackle, or as I've heard in the Locked On podcast, Julian Council, that dude is the truth. Maybe you get a Taylor Moton, your star right tackle. He did play left side a little bit during training camp. Have him on the left side, Brady Christensen on the right side as the right tackle there, and then you have Deontay Brown in that left guard. Maybe. Things got to work. And as Matt Rule said earlier this week, that this is not going to be a quick fix on the offensive line. And there's not really too many people out there who are willing to let go of offensive linemen. Because while we bellyache about the Panthers' offensive line, guess what? Most offensive lines in the NFL are trash. And so you don't really see, GMs right now just willing to let go of big bodies on their roster unless there's, an offer they can't refuse. And maybe Scott Fitterer can find a suitor to bring someone on. But I think right now the answer, unfortunately, is going to be on the roster. And then next year, there's a couple guys out there in Teron Armstead with New Orleans who are going to be free agents. As I mentioned, Mailata and Philly is also going to be a free agent in the offseason. These are all guys that the Panthers could be targeting along with the draft itself. And I'd be lying if I said I haven't already done a 2022 NFL mock draft simulator on PFF and having the Panthers trading down to get as many offensive linemen as possible. For my prediction, I think the Panthers are going to move to 4-1. I think they're going to beat the Philadelphia Eagles 36-24. I think our offense is going to be too much for their defense, but I also think Jalen is going to make things a little tight leading up to maybe the fourth quarter because he's so dynamic, both with his arm and with his feet and with his eyes. So that's three things to be mindful of. But I think that he's going to make things tough. And then something like a turnover. I think Jeremy Chin is going to get what he was owed last week. And he's going to lay somebody out. It's going to be a fumble. And it's going to be a recovery for the Panthers. And that's going to lead to the turning point in this game where the Panthers win this one. And again, move to 4-1. And they're either sharing top spot in the NFC South with the Tampa Bay Bucks. Or they're just by themselves out there. If you're new here, make sure to subscribe, enter your views into the comment community. It is a beautiful place to be. So many nice people. Sprinkle some Cowboy fans. I'm expecting some Eagle fans to join in as well at some point, but I'm just glad you guys are here. Now, just a quick plug here. Every single game day, that is going to be every Sunday from 1 o'clock until around 4 o'clock, unless we go into overtime, I stream the game live. Not the game itself, but my viewing parties. So you got the camera on me, and I'm watching the game. We're chatting in the comment community, talking about the defensive maneuvers, some mistakes for Sam Darnold, Chuba Hubbard running too high, stuff like that. It's a completely different vibe than these midweek episodes, which are obviously only about 15 minutes or so. These are 3 hours long. You get to see me, you get to see my kid, my wife, my dog. It's live, it's raw. It's emotional. It's going to be Thanksgiving weekend here in Canada. If you didn't know that, we celebrate Thanksgiving in October. So you better believe I'm going to be eating some turkey sandwiches while watching, maybe getting some indigestion. Man, it's going to be really, really entertaining. Again, thanks for watching. See you guys on Sunday. Panthers going 4-1, baby. Let's go.